we had to go find where the Brennans lived because we had to land in Ireland. The Flaherty's over here, and so-and-so's over here, and the Brennans are here, and the Brennans are over here.
Check 1, 2. Very good. Good afternoon, everybody. A big crowd today. Last day of finals. Everybody must need a pizza break, so I appreciate you coming out. Hardrocker Luncheon, our last Hardrocker Luncheon of 2014 as well, as the holidays approach. Hardrocker basketball still in full effect, and our team's getting ready to hit the road over the next few weeks, but Hardrocker men are at home tomorrow night and Friday night. Encourage you to come out and cheer on the Hardrockers, a couple of tough opponents in Midwestern State and Eastern New Mexico. We'll start with Hardrocker women's basketball coach Ryan Larsen. They get ready to go on the road to MSU Billings for a tournament up there, and just got done this past weekend. Tough loss to University of Nebraska-Kearney in a hard-fought game. More on Hardrocker women's basketball. Welcome Ryan Larsen.
Thanks, Nate. Great crowd here. Appreciate everybody coming out. Nate summed it up pretty well for us. And by the way, Nate, great job on the PA Saturday. I tell you, let's give him a round for that. He was great. Really good. Kind of summed up Saturday. You know, honestly, I probably just of yesterday, I just got over that loss. That was a tough one. As a team and program, you know, we keep talking about, well, we're knocking on the door. You know, we got a lot of people's attentions, but at some point, we got to bust through the door a little bit and get a nice signature win for us. And that certainly would have been a signature win for us against a good program like Nebraska-Kearney. One thing I'll tell you about Kearney is, you know, they averaged 79 points a game coming to that contest. And for us to hold them to 46 points was, I tell you what, that's a pretty remarkable feat for us. We're a good defensive team. That just tells you how hard we played that game and how well we're progressing defensively. You know, so you're looking at that loss, you know, we accomplished a pretty nice accomplishment by holding a very dynamic team to 46 points. The kids did well, first of all, Coach Paul had a tremendous game plan, and then the kids just executed it tremendously on the defensive end. So that was very, very good to see. Great defensive effort. The problem was, yeah, we scored one less point than they did. And, you know, looking back at that darn game, I watched that sucker twice, and there's nothing I would really change about what we did. You know, we had really good looks the last 5 minutes. It's just kind of one of those games, again, after watching it a couple times, the basket had a lid on it for the last 5 minutes. We had 3 layups that kind of rolled in and out, a couple really good looks at jumpers. You know, any one of those things, you know, I'm probably singing a little different tune today. But the kids played their tails off, extremely happy with our effort. You know, we talk a lot about finals week and how stressful it is for our kids and how much it's draining mentally and physically. We didn't show any of that on Saturday, which is a great accomplishment for our kids. They were tuned in and ready to play. Brad's got a couple clips here. This is after a timeout. Drew up a little set for Callie to get to the rim. Tremendous play there by Callie. Here again, I believe this one. Well, that's a very nice shot by Jordan Edens right there. This is kind of when we were making our run to get an 8-point lead. This is a play where we kind of botched a little bit. I'm sorry, this is an excellent play by Peyton Humple. I got my clips here screwed up, sorry Brad. They were just running our 4-motion offense, and Peyton Humple makes a great basketball play, just runs a back door and gets a big view of the basket for us there. Here we're running a set. We don't execute quite as well, so we kind of botch a little bit, but Kelly does a good job of going and getting the basketball, running our late shot clock play, and we execute it and get a nice post touch right here, and Mackenzie Kenny finishes strong. That should have been an end one right there, darn it. That would have been big for us. A lot of good things in that game. A lot of good things. Again, looking back at that, we didn't score the last 5 minutes, which was a big problem to have. What we did in that game is I kind of joysticked them down the stretch a little bit. We ran all sets. You know, again, as a coach, you think back to the things that you could do a lot better to help your team get the win. If I would have changed one thing, I probably would have, wouldn't have pumped the brakes so fast and let the kids going. But at the same time, that's kind of how we got the win against Rocky Mountain, where later in the game, as fatigue sets in, your motion offense starts to stall a little bit, and bad things happen with that. So we ran sets down the stretch, and we got good looks. We got the looks at the basket that we wanted, and we just couldn't convert. So again, hindsight 2020, you beat yourself up as a coach, what you can do better, but we got the shots. They just didn't go in. This week, big week for us, a really big week. We take off tomorrow morning. Montana State Billings. We play Billings tomorrow night, and then we take on Central Washington on Friday. We got the day off on Saturday in Billings. Coach Paula has a special plan for us that day. I don't know what we're going to do. It's a big surprise, apparently. Big, wonderful day in Billings, and then we play Montana Tech on Sunday. Then we head her home. Taking off tomorrow morning, like I said, I think it's going to be really good for the kids to have one more night's sleep in their own bed after a long week. So we'll get up early and get the bus and go to shoot around and start to prepare. Montana State Billings is a good program again. I believe they're 7-3 on the year. But all 3 games up there, I feel good about. I do. If we continue to defend the way that we do, we'll do a good job there. Problem is offensively, and we worked on that yesterday. That's all we did. We didn't touch defense at all, barely, and I really feel good about our offense right now after one day's practice of just sharpening the tool there and getting stronger and finding our scoring opportunities more. So that's kind of the wrap for us. After Montana, obviously we got a nice week off. The kids get to go home for Christmas break, and then we come to practice on the 29th. Is that right, Coach? 29th. We practice in the morning. We drive to the airport, we fly to Los Angeles, and play the next day. We got 3 more games, so we got a big stretch coming up. It's always interesting, one practice before your next game, but that's what we got to do. You know what? That may help us. You never know. Coach Henry and I talked about all the time. Some stuff that you worry about as a coach just doesn't matter. It doesn't. Just go play the game. Play free and fancy free. That's what I say. Got a special guest here today, Janelle Strampe. Janelle's a senior for us, coming back after ACL injury last year. Really disappointed that I didn't get to coach Janelle last year, but she's making up for it this year. Without getting too sappy and soft, I got a reputation to hold with these kids, so I can't really, say exactly what I mean or really how I really feel about Janelle, but in time I will, Janelle. Okay, but Janelle is what's good about college athletics. Okay, the type of student that she is, the type of basketball player and volleyball player that she is. She's really what makes our job special as college coaches. And for you guys as fans to watch a student athlete like this go through the school of mines, it says a lot about our athletic programs here. Any questions for me before I bring Janelle up? Anything on Saturday or coming up? Tom man is speechless. I covered it all. Coach Collins?
Coach, going back to the bird, where are you eating at, man? I got some suggestions for you.
I'll talk to you afterwards. I do need to talk to you about offense, though. Okay? You guys put up a bunch of points. I need to talk to Coach Tinker about that.
Yeah, we
Okay?
can talk to me about some defense.
Okay. Fair trade. You, me, Coach Tinker, Coach Dotson, we'll sit down, we'll exit it over Christmas break. Okay? I need points, you need defense, we'll fair trade. All right, I'm done up here. Janelle Strampe.
Well, hello there. I think Coach Larsen kind of covered everything, so I wish we had a couple more wins on our scoreboard, but I think we're fighting hard, and I think it'll be a lot more successful here in the second half of the season. I'm looking forward to our mini winter vacation in Montana, I guess, and California as well, so that should be a good thing. Definitely have a lot of awesome players this year. I mean, over the last 4 years, I've been with a lot of teammates, and there's something special about every one of them, and they continue to surprise me every day, so I'm very happy to still be on the team and not old enough to to run up and down the court yet. So, does anyone have any questions? Yes.
Could you educate the crowd here on what your future plans are?
Oh man. Okay, so I hope to graduate with my master's in May. They let me out and I can successfully defend my thesis. And right now I'm in the middle of the application process for NP programs. I've had a couple interviews so far and a couple more to come, so we'll see how that goes. And I'm really looking into surgery right now. I'd like to specialize in orthopedic surgery, continue with sports medicine as much as I can, and after having 3 knee surgeries myself, kind of see what it's like to be on that side of the knife, so looking forward to it. Yeah.
Speaking of your knee surgeries, how do your knees feel or your legs feel?
I feel very old, that's for sure. It's kind of hard to get out of bed in the morning sometimes. But, yeah.
Any other questions for Janelle?
Janelle, I have a question for you. I love your jacket, by the way.
Thank you for giving
No,
it to
no. Ryan and I talk about you a lot. Like we've always said, you're just a great player. We love your personality and things like that. Think back 5 years ago. Why did you choose the school of mine? You can't say it's because of Illinois, but talk about what was really important in your decision to come here.
I think the reputation the school holds academically is one of the main reasons I chose to come here. I could get a great engineering degree and continue in athletics. My grandpa actually graduated from School of Mines many years ago, so he was a little biased in pushing me towards this path, but I mean, any graduate from School of Mines is going to have a phenomenal career ahead of them, so that's probably the main kicker there. All right, thank you.
Coach, you're getting ready to go to my hometown. Usually on Saturdays in Billings, in the winter, we left. So I don't know what you're going to do on Saturday out there, but good luck to you. Hardrocker men's basketball tomorrow night, Midwestern State. Friday night against Eastern New Mexico. Coach Jason Henry just lost a tough one to Nebraska Kearney as well. There's not too many people more famous than Coach Henry, except for that guy on the other sideline as well, Tom Kropp. He's been, he's drafted in the NBA, drafted in the NFL, and you were right there with him, Coach. Welcome up, Coach Jason Henry.
He's got a ring too, I think.
Does he?
I think he's got an NBA ring.
Yeah, he's an exceptional man too. I mean, he's as good a player as he was and all that kind of stuff. He's one of a kind, that's for sure. But just to be in the same sentence, as they say, as Tom Kropp, I'm honored and privileged. Thank you, Nate. Also, this is a magic podium that I think when people like Janelle get up here, the next person, second person in line, gets a little smarter because he's obviously one of the smartest people around here too. So hopefully those are some things that are good happening today for me. But going back to last weekend, we did play a very good Kearney team. They had 2 of the better post players, shoot even 3 of them. A guy coming off the bench that was very good. And then some good spot up guys on the outside, and just overall a very good team. And we played right with them basically for 30-some minutes, but we had a stretch in the second half where they went on like a 7-0 run or even a 10-2 run, whatever it ended up being, and kind of lost it in that where we didn't take care of the ball in a couple possessions, and then they come down and hit threes or went right to the basket. So it doesn't take much, especially at the level that we're at right now, where there's definitely no cupcakes, but every night you have to bring your A game, as they say. And I was very, very pleased with our guys, though, that Ryan alluded to it too a little bit with his ladies, is we haven't won very many games, and I think it's 2, and maybe just 1 over finals week. Typically, we don't have it spread out like it is right now these last couple years. It's usually, here's finals week, Monday through Friday, and then you play Friday, Saturday, or whatever. We don't win very many of those games, and like I said, I've been here for 13 years now, and I remember 1, but there might be a second one, where it's just a tough week, where you don't practice a lot, and the practices that you do have aren't exactly very good, and that kind of thing. Well, last week we had some very good practices, and I was very pleased with our guys, and we came into that game, and I know we didn't practice the day before the game, but I don't think that affected us at all. We came ready to go, and our guys kind of, like we talked about all week, put away some of that stuff, use it. I was talking to a couple of alumni last night, and they said it's kind of nice to have an out where you can go practice and go do something else for an hour and a half, not worry about the studies as much, and I think our guys took advantage of that. Now, This week, however, it's been about the total opposite. We're back to where I thought we were going to be last week, and pretty fortunate not to have that. We haven't had very good practices this last couple of weeks, or last couple of days, and hopefully, now that everything is behind us, when we have our games tomorrow and the next day, that we can kind of put it behind us and then just go out and play the game of basketball. But from some of our guys that are wanting to get home, so a lot of our freshmen haven't seen their parents, or a couple of them haven't seen their parents for 4 and 5 months, plus their friends, and that kind of stuff. So they're thinking about those kind of things. Plus, how did they do in the finals? How do they do this? Looking for a break, that kind of stuff. But I think with our older guys, we're getting some guys that are healthy now, that they will come out ready to go tomorrow night. But like I said, that Kearney game, we just didn't get it done against a good team, and we did a lot of good things in the game. There's no doubt about it. We just got our tails beat. That's part of the deal in athletics sometimes. And I thought we were ready to go, and I'm really happy with our guys in that. Now, hopefully we can do that again on Thursday. Thursday's game, tomorrow, I guess, is against Midwestern State, which is a very good, in fact, they're usually ranked in the top 20 every year, top 10 a lot of years, and they got the guys to be able to be there again this year. They play in the Lone Star Conference that we basically were part of. Right now we play them twice in the next 4 or 5 games that we have. We play Eastern New Mexico, who's in that conference. He's got a very good team as well. But the thing in that conference that we don't see as much with the Northern Sun teams that we play, the Sioux Falls teams over there, and then the RMAC teams, is a lot more, I wouldn't say skilled, but probably more skilled players, but bigger, stronger guys, it seems like, in the RMAC and the Northern Sun. When you go down and play those Texas schools, New Mexico schools, they are the freakish athletes that you'll ever see. And they can run and jump, and then, obviously some of them can shoot, and they're good college basketball players, but that's one of the things that we're not necessarily going to see a lot of these next number of years. Good athletic teams are out there in the RMAC, but in the Lone Star, it's a totally different level. It's a totally different animal. So we actually switch up our defenses and do some different things to try to keep the ball in front of us, try to keep them contained, and make them jump shooters. And if they don't knock down a ton of shots, we usually are pretty fortunate and have an opportunity to win at the end. And that's our game plan. Basically, the next 7 days, or the next 7 games, we come back, just like Ryan said, and we can't practice, can't do anything until the 29th morning. We have to have a week off. So our kids are leaving after the game or on Saturday this week. They can come back and we can do stuff with them, whatever that is, Monday morning, and we fly out Monday afternoon and we go down to Texas and we play the 30th and 31st against Midwestern again in Tarleton. It was Tarleton, I think, is number 2 in the country right now. So we play those 2 teams right off the bat, and then we have a day off, drive across the state to Lubbock, play Eastern New Mexico the next day, Lubbock, Texas the day after that, have another day off, and then play another team over in New Mexico. So it's crazy, but it's 2 trips that basically we went down to go play them. If we're away from school and have an opportunity to do that, I would like to maybe put a day or 2 in between those games, but those teams are in conference play. So we get to play them whenever we can play them. But we're same situation as Ryan. We're going to get on the bus and go. But the nice part about D2 is those teams also can't practice for that week as well. Okay, so it's kind of nice. They're on their home floor and that kind of thing, but we're basically all in the same situation. So we're looking forward to the trip. We do have some clips and things from the Kearney game. We do have Konor up here that we'll talk a little bit about as well. And not sure, to be honest, exactly what Brad's got here, or Coach Webb here to him, but they did press the whole pretty much the first half. We did a pretty good job of, that's a good one to go with as a dunk. So, but that, it's just our press break and their half court, their 3/4 court press, and we handled it pretty good. In fact, they didn't run it the second half, which I kind of hoped they would have. But then they, did some things defensively on us that we didn't score as much as we, definitely wanted to in that second half. So. But pretty good job with Jordan. Jordan's been struggling all year. He had a couple threes. I think he had 11 in the first half, Jordan Dec. And we need him to break out for us to be successful. Andrew and Kelvin got to get healthy and stay healthy. And Jordan Dec, which is our 3rd senior, has to knock down shots. And he did that in the first half. And to be honest, that's why we were right there. Is he knocked down some shots, and he's got to be able to do that going forward as well. Last couple, our defensive effort was, I wouldn't say spectacular, but we did a lot of good things to limit their touches, especially in the first half. And that's one of the other things that we talked to our guys about, is our transition. we have got to score a third of our points or more in transition. We scored a third of our points in the first half in transition. We scored, I think, 2 points in transition the second half. And we only scored 25 points, you know, so we got to make sure that we're getting touches in transition and doing a better job of that. Plus putting the combination of you know, running sets and running our offense. So that was a Kearney game. Looking forward to Thursday night's game. Like I said, great talented team coming in. You know, hopefully everybody in this room is there and gets an opportunity to see some high-level basketball. And I think our guys are going to be ready. You know, there's no question about it. We got a chance to play this team 2 times in 4 games. 1 here, you know, 1 at their place. Obviously, we want to take advantage of being at home. We talked about that last week, is we just got to do a better job of defending our home court. And I do. I really think that we can come, if we come ready to go. They were just, you talk about our trips all the time. I mean, everybody's got their issues. There's no doubt about it. We probably have more than others, and you know, it is what it is. But they were just in Florida 2 days ago. Okay? Then they flew into Denver, and they drove up last night, and I was getting calls left and right. Which way do we go? Which way? So hopefully the last thing they want to do right now is to be in Rapid City, South Dakota for a Bucks game. So, you know, Coach Glenn and I joke about that all the time, that, you know, sure, we got our issues and that kind of stuff, but can you imagine some of those kids? They want to get home too, you know, and they just come from Florida. So hopefully our guys are ready, because I think if we are ready, you know, we'll take advantage of that. So any quick questions before we introduce Konor Kulas to come up here?
Did you tell them to turn west at Wheatland?
You know what? I haven't seen them yet, so hopefully they're supposed to, they canceled their practice last night because it was too late, and then today they're not supposed to be here till 2, so I don't know. Maybe they'll get a chance to eat somewhere and get some food poisoning on top of it all. Whatever works right now. We'll take whatever. What else we got? Anything else?
You are streaming.
Yeah. They'll watch it all. Okay, we'll bring up Konor Kulas. Konor is back with us this year after taking a year sabbatical, whatever you call it at this institution. But you know, he redshirted for us last year. You know, we missed him last year. We knew we had a chance to be a pretty good team last year as well. But we're looking forward to him coming back, and really looking forward to having him for 2 years as junior, senior year. We talk a lot about juniors and seniors in our program and in everybody's program. It's just so much different, especially in guys. I'm more familiar, obviously, with guys, but the simple fact that they're 22 years old and 21 years old, a little bit more mature, a little bit stronger, a little bit smarter, all those kind of things, that's a big deal for our program. And to have him now as going to be a 4th and 5th year junior and senior, you know, I don't know how much better he can get. Hopefully it's a lot better, just like we want to get the rest of our guys a lot better. But the simple fact that he's averaging almost a double-double right now, I don't know what more to ask from a kid, you know, but we're going to. We always do. You know, so we want the best for our guys, and they love the chance to get that pressure to put on them and continue to get better. So Konor, we're looking for a lot of great things. He's averaging about 15 points, 8 or 9 rebounds right now. We're going to get his rebounds up a couple so he can end the season as a double-double, which would be absolutely, you know, fabulous. But bottom line is, he's the hardest worker. He's my girls' favorite player. He's Anita's boys' favorite player. He's, you know, all those things out there that you want. And once again, he's a good leader for us. And we'll get to hear why he was here and all that fun stuff from him. Konor Kulas.
Hi, I'm Konor Kulas. I'm from Appleton, Wisconsin, and I'm majoring in industrial engineering. So kind of why I chose here was just Coach Henry saw me play my senior year, or before my senior year, during AAU in a tournament in Sioux Falls. And I was kind of started talking to me then, nothing too major. And then during my senior season, he really started calling me like once a week and was really interested. And I decided to come out on a visit. I had been to Rapid City when I was like 12, visiting Mount Rushmore, like I think every family does at some point. And so I came back out here, and before I even got all the way home, I called him and said, yep, this is the place for me. I want to be here for the next few years. I knew that was going to be 5, but that's all right. Any questions, I guess?
Your color. I'm play-by-play.
Oh, go ahead. What was the hardest thing during the red shirt?
Just watching. I mean, being at the end of the bench and feeling like you could be making a difference on the court. Sometimes it'd be like, oh, I could see myself fitting in there, and helping the team get a couple wins and just having to sit at the end. But it was good. It was a learning experience, and it was nice getting to watch Mike Dietz. I learned so much from him. He was a great role model and everything that's going off the court.
Tom?
You're up time?
Yep.
Konor, your numbers are actually better this year than they were 2 years ago, when I think it's fair to say the caliber of play and the players you're playing against are better than they were 2 years ago. Do you find that the case?
Yeah, definitely. This year, like teams like Colorado School of Mines and Metro State are just levels ahead of some of the teams we played my freshman year. I think I just have to give a lot of credit to my teammates, just still giving me the ball a lot and playing well in the offense.
Just a comment before a question. You are the most deceptive individual around the hoop that I've seen in a long time. I mean, the ball goes up between hands, around hands, over hands, under hands. It's a tribute to your skill. Around the hoop, you just make things happen.
Thanks. I think I kind of attribute that to growing up. I always used to play with my dad and like his friends on Monday night open gyms. And
what is he, 7'2" or something like that?
No, he's only a couple inches bigger than me. But, so I play with all the old men, so I kind of picked up their game. A lot of people are like, oh, he plays like an old person, all these pump fakes and stuff. But it works, so I'm going to stick with it.
I just wanted to ask, what are you thinking about doing after graduation?
Honestly, right after I graduate, I'm hoping to travel over to Europe and play professional basketball. That's my dream, something I really want to do. Then after that, kind of want to do something, I don't know, I really have no idea, I guess. Hopefully something in engineering, but we'll see where it takes me.
What are you majoring in?
Industrial engineering. Anything else? All right, thank you for having me.
Thanks a lot, two great student athletes here today. Reminder, next Hardrocker Luncheon will be in 2015, January 7th. It'll be great. It'll be sandwiched in between the Black Hill State women's game and the Black Hill State men's game. So that'll be a big one on January 7th. We'll get previews and a recap from Coach Larsen. But first, 7:30 tomorrow night, Hardrocker men here at home against Midwestern State, 7:30 Friday night against Eastern New Mexico. So thanks to Marco's Pizza. Thanks for coming. Have a Merry Christmas. Hope to see you over the next couple weeks supporting Hardrockers.